Today's my last day in China, so I finally am qualified to tell you 5 things you need to know if you're planning to come to China for good sourcing. If you're planning to come to China, even for let's say a trip, you're just trying to come visit. 5 things you need to know, okay? Number one, don't get an eSIM, especially from trip.com. Don't get an eSIM. I got an eSIM from trip.com. The network was shitty, it was trashy. This is my last day here. And fortunately or unfortunately, I spent about 7 days here and I got the eSIM coverage for 6 days. So today being my last day, I ran out of service, right? I ran out of data, I didn't have service. So I was struggling. I had to go to one of those shops where you get a physical card and then they set it up for you, right? And finally, I'm able to post on TikTok. I couldn't load TikTok. The slowest network. Don't get an eSIM, okay? It's better you come here, you get the physical SIM card and let them set it up for you. Number two, if you're coming here to source goods, have a fair idea about the price or the cost of the goods, especially if you know what exactly you're coming here for. Do your research online, do your research, have a fair idea what is a good deal, wholesale, what is a good deal for this particular product. So that when you get here, you have a good idea what a good bargain is. You have a first sense when you are being cheated or something is being overpriced and presented to you, you have a first sense because it's a different currency, you know. So you get here and they're mentioning 200 RMB, 5,000 RMB, and every single time you're trying to translate on your phone to have a good idea, how much is this in my local currency? Like sometimes you wouldn't have internet, okay? Like I just said, sometimes you wouldn't have the internet, and then you might have to just guess in your head. It's gonna confuse you, okay? And sometimes you would end up taking a bad deal because you don't know the value, and you also don't know what is a good deal because you don't know what the reference price you're working with is. So have a fair idea about the cost of the product that you're willing to work with. Number three, have a good amount of cash on you. I know everyone says you can use Alipay to pay for everything. Alipay has charges for handling your transactions. I didn't even realize this until at some point, the charge was extremely high because what I was paying for was very significant. Then I was like, but these people told me this cost XXX. So why am I seeing XYZ in the app? And then I had to look through and I saw that there was a payment fee or a handling fee, which was pretty outrageous. Yes. And sometimes, for me, at some point, I didn't really verify my ID. So you should verify your ID on Alipay before coming. I didn't verify my ID before coming. And after a fixed amount of transaction, they make it mandatory for you to have your ID verified. So I was trying to make payments for something and then I couldn't because it was asking me to verify my ID. And at that point, my network was shitty. I loaded my passport. Someone has to manually check your passport and verify your identity. And it was just taking forever. I had to sit there and wait. You're gonna use Alipay. Yes, use Alipay, but verify your ID on Alipay. Have a significant amount of cash on you. They accept cash here for everything. Cash is always an option. I haven't been to anywhere where I've been like, okay, let me give you cash, and they've said no. Cash is always an option. It's the best option for you. Have cash on you, a good amount of cash, okay? Number four, when you get to the airport and you're trying to get a taxi, let's say you're not using Didi, but you're walking towards the taxi area, somebody might walk up to you to offer you a taxi ride to ask you where you're going to. Do not go with that person. When I say do not, I mean do not, especially if you haven't gotten to the taxi area, the person met you halfway, they walked up to you. So it's not like you've gotten there and you can see the driver standing by his car or anything and you can negotiate. This person walks up to you before you even got there. Do not pay them any attention because I made the mistake of paying this guy attention. I was tired. I just showed him the location I was going to, and he said, okay. He showed me the price in an app, but I noticed that when he was showing me the price, like there were a lot of options. He chose one particular option and he showed it to me. I didn't pay it any mind because I thought maybe we have the standard, the economy ride, and maybe he just chose the premium ride or something to get extra money. Like I didn't pay him any attention. So he took my bags and then we walked. We walked past the taxi rank, out some exits, under the hot sun. We kept walking and walking and walking. So I was like, I know we are not going to the taxi rank, and where is your car? We got to some parking area. This guy had me standing there with my bags. He found a place to sit, and then he was like, wait, the car is coming, wait. I'm like, I was so pissed. I was pissed at myself for falling for this. And I was just pissed at him, but I kept my cool. And then I waited there. I dare say I waited there for like 15, 20 minutes under the hot sun until finally a taxi came by and he spoke to the driver. So he was basically a middle person. He spoke to the driver and the driver, I got into the taxi and I realized that when the trip was starting, the thing that reads and tell you how much it is, it's supposed to start from zero when the trip is starting, but it started from 10 RMB, which means he gets his cut, right? So don't do it. Just want to go get your own taxi by yourself, okay? In case you don't have the time or the luxury to go out to restaurants to eat food, Alipay is your best bet for ordering food. When you get, here's an extra tip, when you get to the hotel, ask the receptionist or those who are welcoming you into the hotel or whatever to show you and help you set up your food order so it can be delivered right to your door. They're going to input their address as in Chinese. You might have trouble doing this, and since you do not have a Chinese number, they use the hotel's number or something. But basically, they help you set it up, and then ask them to recommend food to you, the type of food that you like to eat. Especially when I got here, I made the mistake of trying to figure it out by myself, and yeah, that didn't work, and I ended up ordering something I really didn't want to order, and the address I put in wasn't really correct. I finally had to go downstairs to go get someone to help me, and when the food came, it didn't really taste that good. So that's just an extra tip for you if you plan. It's better to have Alipay, because after I came to the second hotel, immediately I got here, I had them set it up for me and I had them recommend food to me, which was like 10 over 10, really good food. And after that, I could use it myself. 2 a.m., I'm sitting here ordering food, and it's just so convenient. So these are my tips for you. These are some of my tips. I can do a part two on this because I've experienced a lot here. Let me know if they're helpful, and if there's anything you want to add up to, or if there's anything you don't agree with. I would be interested in knowing what your perspective and what your experience was. And yeah, you're welcome.